Most people believe that when a male cat sleeps with you, it's simply because your bed is warmer, softer, more comfortable. But if that's what you think, you might be overlooking one of the most important messages your cat has ever tried to send you. And worse, if you dismiss it as just a habit, you could be unknowingly weakening the very sense of safety he's trying to build with you. Because for a male cat, choosing where and with whom to sleep is never random. It is a survival decision. In the wild, sleep is the most vulnerable state a cat can enter. A male cat that relaxes in the wrong place doesn't get a second chance. His instincts are wired around territory, scent, and security. Every resting spot is evaluated through one question. Is this safe enough for me to let my guard down? So when your cat ignores the couch, the quiet corner, the perfectly sunny patch on the floor, and instead walks into your room night after night and settles beside you, that is not convenience. That is selection. Researchers studying feline attachment have found that many cats form bonds with their primary caregiver, similar to secure attachment patterns seen in human infants. And male cats in particular often single out one person as their anchor, the one whose scent regulates them, the one whose presence lowers their stress response. When he presses his body against yours, he isn't just getting comfortable. He's blending scent profiles. He's reinforcing territory in the most intimate way he knows how. In his world, territory equals safety. And by sleeping against you, he is marking you, softly, quietly, as part of that safe territory. This is mine, not in a possessive way, in a protective one. But here's where it gets even deeper. There is something your male cat does while he's asleep next to you. Something you've probably seen dozens of times and never thought twice about. That reveals a level of trust so raw, so biologically vulnerable, that it changes everything. We'll get to that near the end. And when you understand it, you may never look at him the same way again. But first, pay attention to where he places himself when he sleeps beside you, because the position he chooses says more than you realize. Now look closely at where he positions his body. Not just that he's on the bed, but exactly where. Many male cats don't simply curl up randomly beside their human. They place themselves between you and the edge of the bed, or they stretch out facing the bedroom door. Sometimes they align their body along yours, but keep their head angled outward, ears subtly tuned to the room. That's not accidental. In the wild, male cats prefer elevated or strategically protected sleeping spots, places where they can detect movement, scent shifts, or subtle vibrations. Even in deep rest, their nervous system remains partially alert. Their hearing stays active. Their whiskers remain responsive to air currents. So when your cat chooses a position that places himself between you and a potential entry point, he is enacting that same instinct, but with you included in the equation. You are inside his protective radius. Studies on feline spatial behavior suggest that bonded cats often position themselves in ways that create a subtle buffer zone around their preferred human. It's not dramatic, it's not conscious heroism, but it is instinctive proximity designed to monitor and respond. And here's the part most owners miss. He doesn't do this everywhere. He doesn't guard the couch the same way. He doesn't assume that position next to just anyone. He does it with you. But the meaning deepens even more when you notice where on your body he chooses to sleep. If your male cat lies directly on your chest, that is one of the highest trust positions he can offer. Your chest rises and falls. Your heartbeat pulses beneath him. Cats are highly sensitive to rhythm, breathing patterns, heart rates, subtle muscular tension. When he settles there, his body often synchronizes with yours. His breathing slows, his muscles soften. His nervous system co-regulates with yours. Behaviorists believe this mirrors early kitten bonding, when newborns sleep pressed against their mother's body, guided by warmth and heartbeat. If he chooses your feet instead, don't feel rejected. That position is strategic closeness. He remains near you, but keeps mobility. It allows him to react quickly if something shifts in the environment. It's attachment, with readiness. If he sleeps near your head or curls against your neck, that's intimacy layered with vulnerability. The neck is one of the most defenseless parts of the body, for both humans and cats. Choosing that space signals profound emotional safety. And if he changes spots from night to night, that's not randomness either. There's often a reason behind those shifts, and it connects to something most cat owners completely misunderstand. In fact, there's one behavior in particular that almost everyone interprets the wrong way. And it might be the clearest signal your cat is trying to send. Have you ever noticed that on the days you feel off, the quiet, heavy kind of tired that sits in your chest, your cat seems closer than usual? Maybe he climbs onto you the moment you lie down. Maybe he presses tighter against your ribs. Maybe he follows you into the bedroom earlier than normal and refuses to leave. That isn't coincidence. Cats are extraordinarily sensitive to micro changes in human behavior. Subtle shifts in posture, facial tension, the pace of your breathing. But even more fascinating, they can detect changes in your body chemistry. When you're stressed or sad, your cortisol levels rise. That hormonal shift slightly alters your scent profile. Humans don't notice it. Cats do. Your male cat doesn't understand deadlines, arguments, or heartbreak, but he recognizes dysregulation. He senses when your system isn't calm. And when he moves closer on those nights, it's not clinginess, it's response. Unlike pack animals, cats are not socially obligated to comfort. They don't operate from duty. So when a bonded male cat chooses proximity during your vulnerable moments, it is voluntary attachment. He is regulating himself through you and offering his presence as part of that exchange. His purring may even increase. And that's not just emotional symbolism. Feline purr frequencies, typically between 25 and 150 hertz, have been associated with calming effects and even tissue healing responses. While the science is still developing, what we do know is that purring often occurs during both contentment and stress regulation. It's a self-soothing mechanism, so when he lies on you during your worst nights, softly vibrating against your body, he may be stabilizing himself and you at the same time. But here's where it becomes important to pay attention. If your male cat suddenly stops sleeping with you altogether, that shift matters. Cats are masters at concealing discomfort. In the wild, visible weakness invites threat. So instead of crying out or limping dramatically, they change patterns. Subtle ones. If he moves away from your body after weeks or months of consistent closeness, it could signal physical discomfort. Pain can make touch intolerable. Joint inflammation, digestive issues, even early dental pain can shift sleeping preferences. If he suddenly starts sleeping directly on top of you when he never did before, he may be seeking additional warmth. Cats experiencing temperature regulation issues, sometimes tied to illness, instinctively search for heat sources. And if he begins hiding in new, isolated places, especially combined with reduced appetite or lower energy, that can signal stress or internal imbalance. The key isn't panic, it's awareness. Most early health concerns in cats are first reflected in routine changes, especially sleep routines. The owners who catch problems early are often the ones who noticed something as simple as, "He didn't sleep with me this week." But there is still one final behavior we haven't talked about, the one that reveals the deepest layer of trust. And it happens when he's completely asleep. Remember earlier I told you there's something your cat does while he's asleep that most people see but never truly understand? This is it. When your male cat falls into deep sleep beside you, his body changes. At first, he may look lightly resting, ears flicking, muscles still slightly tense. But then, if he feels completely safe, he shifts into REM sleep. His paws begin to twitch, his whiskers quiver. Sometimes he softly kneads the air, as if pressing against something only he can feel. His belly may turn upward, his jaw relaxes. A faint purr hums so quietly you almost miss it. That state is biological vulnerability. In REM sleep, muscle tone drops, defensive reflexes soften, reaction time slows. In the wild, entering that level of sleep in the wrong environment could be fatal. Male cats are hardwired for vigilance. Every instinct in their nervous system is built around alertness, scanning, readiness. So when he exposes his belly, the most unprotected part of his body, and drifts into deep, twitching dreams beside you, he is overriding survival programming. He has determined, at a nervous system level, that you are safe enough. Research in applied animal behavior has shown that cats only enter sustained REM sleep in environments they perceive as secure. Not just comfortable, secure. That distinction matters. Comfort is softness. Security is trust. When he needs in his sleep, he may be revisiting early kitten memory patterns, the rhythmic motion used while nursing. When his paws flutter, he may be dreaming through instinctive hunting sequences. But the fact that he allows himself to reach that depth of unconsciousness next to you means something profound. You are not just part of his territory. You are part of his safety system. And here's the quiet truth most people never consider. Your cat shows this version of himself to almost no one else. Guests don't see it. Strangers don't see it. Even other family members may not see it. This is reserved. So tonight, when he climbs onto the bed and settles beside you, don't just think, he likes the warmth. Notice the position he chooses. Notice whether he faces the door. Notice whether his breathing syncs with yours. And when he finally drifts deep enough to twitch and soften and surrender completely, understand what you're witnessing. A predator built for survival, choosing vulnerability. A creature wired for independence, choosing closeness. Not out of need, but out of trust. And that kind of bond isn't loud. It's quiet. It's pressed gently against your side while the world sleeps.